Every moment in time is actually our time. I'm trying to see what's going on with this camera. All right, is that better? Yes, that's better. Okay, so today is the 29th of November. I did not actually get the chart on the message because this is just a free for all, and what it is that's going to come up, popping up. All right, pop up visitor. Somebody might have somebody pop up at their house. Pop up visitor came into mind, and then I thought about what it would be like if you were doing hair or combing someone's hair and you drop the comb on the floor. They say you can possibly expect a pop up visitor, or if a spoon or utensil or something like that hit the floor, possibly you can have a pop up visitor if you home and you have some family in your house, or if you just there by yourself. If any of those things happen, everybody tradition is not the same. Everybody got different beliefs, but I can attest for saying that yes, it has happened, especially with me with the comb because I would usually be the one combing everybody hair. Okay, so we're gonna go in with our calculations. The 11 always resorting back to the 2, and then we have the 9, which would be a 11, and then it's gonna go back to the 2, and then the 7. So we go 227 once again. So I remember there being a reading that I had already previously did dealing with the 227 with the angel number, and it also was a statement of the show 227 with Marla Gibbs as one of the lead characters in that. But the message of that was a family, and the family dynamic across the board because it was a story that could reach many people that had those particular type of living situations or income bracket, or just the dynamic of the family with the neighbors, right? But let's go back into it though. Okay, what is the meaning of the 227 angel number? The ultimate meaning of the angel number 227 angel number centers around creativity and expression. Okay, so that's where we are. We're gradually getting into these days when you can see that people's creativities is going to be explosive because of the idea of gift bringing and bearing. And then we have that with certain practices where you may give gifts for a certain amount of days, especially like with Kwanzaa, and then there's every day that you may uh, add a candle to the. Let me see, because I don't know too much about the background altogether, like the whole dynamics. Kwanzaa is an annual celebration of African American culture from December 26th to January 1st, culminating in a communal feast called Karama, usually on the sixth day. It was created by activist Maulana Kararanga, based on the African harvest festival tradition from various parts of the western and southern parts of Africa, right? And then you can click on it. There's some Wikipedia information, but they're talking about the Kinarara. What is the Candelabra? Almost how it sounds the same. Okay, if we were thinking about it in this particular um, location in America, because that's where the candle lighting comes from. You can kind of base it with the holiday times and in the older times where people did not have the ability to have electricity running through their towns or what have you, or either natural gas, because you got to remember what was able to be ran through the lines or through connecting lines, right? As far as sources of energy, or the ones that was able to be carried away. And most of the single candles would be probably like on a saucer or something like that, and you just hold it. Maybe they used to have it by their bedside, from what it is that my grandmother would tell me. But during the holidays, there was always some type of um, idea with candles being lit and burned. Okay. All right, so let's get back to the 227. We're going along with that as far as the creativity and expression goes, because of we're thinking about these times where people are actually mellow. Some of them are able to be inside and be more creative than usually, because they may be snowed in. And then there's possibly some things that you have harvested from the natural resources that's available in your area. That's why people who have a lot of land that have pine trees growing on it, they're able to sell those trees during the holiday season for people to make Christmas trees with, as well as pine cones, right? You would take those pine cones that fall when it's going through that fall process, let them dry out in the air, and you could possibly spray paint them, or you can add some glitter on them. Just, paint some glue on that and spray on with some glitter, or you can, let me see, or you can do something like what I have right here by taking some pipe cleaners and some felt that you've had for a long time, just sitting around and make those bowls, and you're gonna tie the bowls around. I mean, the pipe cleaner around those rectangular cut pieces of the felt, and make a bowl, holiday bowl, or any type of bowl, and then use that pipe cleaner to be able to hang that fine cone from it. Make a cute little something. And that's what we're dealing with, creative expression, being in that art field. That's why there's so many classes that you could take that will give you the ability to train your creative expression, like with the skills that you have. And remember that every artist is different. So don't try to, worry about what somebody else's is going to look like. This is your personal creative expression, and you are the one who's actually putting the energy into it. And you got to let yourself know that sometimes everything that you think is not your best expression, someone else may think it is one of the greatest expressions, right? So let's go forward with that for the 227 for today, and what it is that we need to also look at when we're being creative and expressing ourselves. Your angels are signaling that you should use your creative skills to express yourself and develop your talents. It's basically what I said. I hadn't read it yet, but how that go. Let everything be in sync one for the other. And those gifts, right, that you're making, the personal ones, I know that for Kwanzaa are the ones that people really, really appreciate, is the ones that are handmade gifts. Maybe you're into making soaps. It's time to start, you know, opening up the doors for expressing yourself in that particular manner by offering them as gifts, and then you can have gift packages. Everyone knows what they need to do. But this is just the reassurance that if you are already doing it, that you're on the right path. And if you're not into selling your products, just being able to use them as your own personal decorations around your house, or possibly gifting them to your family, right? They will appreciate them. Okay, so it says right here on So Sync. Okay, and it's kind of related to dating now, so maybe there is some room for a love message. Today we uncover the meaning of angel number 227. Have you ever been driving down the road, glancing at the odometer only to discover it reads 227? Or looking at the clock each day and it reads 1111. If so, you're not alone. The angel number 227 is a mysterious phenomenon that appeared in people's lives for centuries. Is guardian angel sending you a message or a sign to help guide you on your path, right? So that's the path to creativity, because when we started out, that's what it was in the short reference, other than going into the long message, right, of the expression. So you on that path is sending a message to help guide on that path. Maybe you have the idea that you want to be more creative and express it, whatever form of art that it is that you're thinking about creating, and I mean that you already are creating and you need to start expressing yourself more with. Follow those who are in that same path, right, or on that same path. Okay, angel numbers are divine messages that are believed to be sent from the spiritual realm. If you notice a particular number sequence appear around you repeatedly, you might be experiencing an angel number phenomenon. And that's basically what we're talking about, because everything that has numbers can be already from the divine. Everything was spoken, right? The word was with God, and the word was God, or however you want to take it. And the word went forward, moved across the waters. Now, the formation of the word that we are all living, we are the word that's living as well, because of the vibration and tones that we carry that goes over our lungs. It could be that we want them to be dry. That's like land coming out of the water underneath the diaphragm, and the water that's in us coming over the land to form. Okay, and that is in the spelling with the sight of what it is that we're hearing, because we can see with our ears as well. We'll get an audio visualization of what it is that's going on. It's like if I was to say, with your eyes closed, close your eyes, and you can hear the pots and pans tinging and pinging on the floor as she beat them with the spoons, right? Because you know what the spoons sound like alone, you know what pots and pans sound like alone, even with your eyes closed, and then you get a visualization of the child actually doing that. So that's what the spelling of the words do when they are in alphanumeric formation, coming together in whatever language that we have been trained to read. So now we in the angel number for today, a 227, going in the formation of creativity and expression right now during the gift bearing season. That's why we got to think about the creation of the gifts that we are bearing, right? And also the energy that you put behind creating them, giving them, or receiving them. So that's why we want to avoid those hellish days. And I'm going to say right now, welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to the channel. This is our channel where we're going to unwind. We're going to talk about some things on a level that we have not reached when we are thinking about what's already in creation, and using the angel numbers to hear what it is that the angels are speaking to us from day to day. No matter if we skip a day, it is something that is going to be in sync. And then also, I will be able to give you all what is in the oracle deck that I have created throughout the time span of a year, with introduction to the first set of cards by tarot that I had introduced into my at my space. Put it like that, because it is now a part of what has happened in my life throughout this year. Now the breakdown on the two, let's see. And the angel number alone, angel number two is a sign of connection, cooperation, balance, and harmony. And that's what we're talking about, being in harmony with what it is that you are doing when you creating the things that will become gifts. And that's where you get a certain saying where stuff has the ability to give people the EBGBs or having bad vibes. You want to be in lively spirits with whatever it is that you are creating, so that it could carry that same good vibration over into your work, and then it will be felt. And I guess you can consider that would be that Reiki energy on that particular item. Now, I don't think it's so much like that for the mass produced items. That's probably why so much of the mass produced items can be considered things that we find becoming trash so easily. So if you are able to get anything that somebody has made with their hands and put their time and energy, their blood and their sweat into it, you can consider that an artifact, right? All right, because it may be one of so many, or one of the only, one of a kind. All right. Two is a number and a sign of connection, cooperation, balance, and harmony. And that's balancing out what it is that you're going to be able to create, and the other things that it is that you have to do in life as well. Corporation for what it is that some of you crafters or those who are makers out there are making, to be able to go to the pop-ups or whatever it is that is happening, right? And as we that attract more people, because the more festive it is, the more lively it will look, because of the aura that it carries. So people would be more interested into going. And that's also what connection, what it's saying to me, certain places, if you are going to be having a host and a pop-up, you need to make a marketing that will create a connection between your buyers and your sellers. Maybe you need to put some aromatherapies out there. If there's a vendor that is selling candles or whatever, you might want to light some of your samples or put them on aromas, or even with music that can be softly played in the background, and environment that is catering to what it is that people are that are seasonal shoppers are interested in, with whatever colors that you use. All right, let's go deeper. It is linked to the spiritual realms, the meaning of life, and the divine purpose and the mission of the soul. Remember, the other day we were talking about the etymology of the missions that are here on earth with the body. Now, these are the things that are mission of the soul, because they are soulful. Remember, we already put the connotation of a soulful Christmas out there. So, regardless to what things that are on the downside of it, we're going to go into the upside walk of it, the upward look of it. It also relates to the qualities of love, faith, peace, trust, communication, and kindness in personal romantic relationships. Okay, so this is the time for a lot of romance, and we cannot deny that. Everyone who is alive will feel that, and then we can also account for the things that we see visualizing through the programs that are specifically being allowed to air during these times, right? You see a lot of holiday commercials where people are buying cars and they got the big red bow on it, or you can see um, commercials with hot chocolate being made and somebody in the kitchen making cookies and sugar cookies, or a Pillsbury commercial, those particular type of things that give you warm and family feelings, right? Then you're going to see the commercials with meals that have that hot steam flowing from them, and also that home plate that will give you that comfort, you know, like the comfort food with the dressings and all of the other fixings on the side of it, the side items addressing the entrees, the rolls, and things like that. So, this is also to make those connections for what it is that is going on during this winter harvest for the things that has been harvested in the fall, because regardless of whether we want to believe it or not, if we did not use the fruit that had ripened in the fall, the vegetables that have ripened in the fall, then we would have a living that is in vain, because that is the food that is supposed to feed the masses when it is ready to be harvested, regardless of whether we're purchasing it. We're purchasing it now and we're advertising it to ourselves. But before then, we would just gather it and divide it amongst ourselves. So let's go to what it is with the corporation part of the two with the angel number. That's basically all of what it is coming to. During these times, we're going to have abundance of root vegetables, abundance of greens, because they really would not make it during the summer times because it's a succulent type of vegetation, and it does freeze, but it's not as good as it could be when you let it stay on the ground going into a freeze. After the freeze come, everything that is a succulent is going to be wilted, because you can see that from just packaging it fresh and freezing, flash freezing it and putting it from your market to your freezer. And when it's time to cook it and thaw out, the difference in just having it fresh and chopping it. Okay, so let's be real on the real. We're getting down to earth with all of what is going on as a collective who are using the resources of the earth to obtain anything called money or funds or revenue. Okay? Now, it also relates to qualities of love. That's where love come in. If you all have trees that are uh, producing nuts and they're falling from the ground. We got those winter nuts collections. You know they're always out there with the walnuts, the chestnuts, the pecans. You have some macadamias, which is very rarely that you'll have them in America, because macadamias, believe it or not, are very sought after. And then those almonds, and then that's where you'll get those holiday packages where you see them in the package together. And I can remember as a young child making holiday baskets that involve that combination of those nuts that I just spoke of, with a few other fruits and maybe some peppermints and things like that. And then you would also see the vegetables like the carrots, the cabbage, the turnips, the bottoms and the greens, and celery with onions in a package as well, considering it to be a soup bunch. But those were some type of gifts that you would give if you had those items, and maybe if they had some extra stuff to throw in there, like eggplant, if they grew it or whatever, then it would have that as well. Okay, the peace, getting into the peaceful state of time, because really and truly you got to think about it. A lot of people consider themselves in this part of the earth to be bears in America, right? Baby bear, mama bear, papa bear. We got the three little bears, and the reason why I'm using this is because even something that could be considered so furious as a bear, they go to a place where they're in peace and they're hibernating. So I'm talking to all of those who carry the bear um totem. Let me see. Yes. Oh my goodness, it's too wonderful. Okay, so they're taking me off the pad of what we're talking about with this. We're gonna go keep it up for the two because that's what a lot of people have been suffering with, how to balance duality because it's on the polar side and maybe they are in a relationship that's having them in that imbalance, but we're gonna go with the bear spirit animal. Okay, so with the bear spirit animal we're dealing with today, we're going into that season where it's okay to just be a little subtle. That's where we at in that hibernatory level, right? The most important meaning and symbolism of the spirit animal bear is strength and confidence. The spirit animal helps you find strength and courage when you are longing, well, when you no longer feel empowered to go on. Okay, so you have the strength and the confidence. Think about the bear, but we got to think about what happens in the wintertime. You're getting cuddly, you settling, and it's a little bit easier to be in tune with yourself, right? Your strengths. What is it that keeps you confident? The spirit animal helps you find strength and courage when you no longer feel empowered to go on, right? The symbolism of the bear encourages to trust your instincts and to be your true self, especially when you are not feeling well. Somebody been in that spirit of not feeling well, but you have to have strength in yourself with that confidence. Why? Because your strength is not just coming from you. Your strength comes from the most high. Think about it as a bear. You coming down out of the mountain, right? It's time to go in. You been up there doing whatever you're doing. You catching those salmon that's going up against the grain. How lovely, because everything else seems to flow which direction it's supposed to, but those salmon is in that current because they doing their thing, right? So now that bear have to come down because salmon they don't like too much cold of a water. It's time for you to settle down because you have fulfilled a whole lot of what it is that you did not think that you would be able to do regarding your strength and your confidence. Now you have to have the confidence to kind of come down and lay low, encouraging you to trust your instincts. You're not feeling well already. The more energy you put towards the wrong things, it's going to kind of evaporate what it is that you need to hibernate, right? Okay, so in the tarot, they would call it the hermit to go inside, right? But we don't have to call it a hermit. We call it just what it is that the Most High gave us, the bear that needs to hibernate. Because when you come out of that hibernation, baby, it's on. It's on. You've been in that hole for too mother long. You know what I'm talking about, type of energy, especially when you're not feeling well. It's not okay to go out there and you got this here, you got a slash on it. You got the sword like this here. You see me? And then you still, uh, 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 whatever. It's okay to hibernate. Basically, is what I'm saying. Because, baby, if I am that bear and I know that we've been out there and then the cubs is, taking care of, they getting a baby bear cub on, and I've been mama bearing all throughout of the seasons when we supposed to be doing what we doing in that fashion. Now it's time to hibernate. What make you think I'm about to be out there? I'm coming inside, and I already got what it is that we got stacked up through the time when it was falling. So when we go in, we already got it all, right? And that's not just on a material level. Now, y'all, come on and walk with me as I speak while we teach each other on our channel. This is the evident thing that takes us away from what it is that we can allow ourselves to have with the technology. But away from the technology, it is what is seasonal. Seasons come around and they go, but they always come when they supposed to. We have no control over the season. Now y'all want to play with the weather, but the season is gonna show you from what the earth do. Because the vegetation, the life, and the intelligence that's embedded within the earth know the season regardless of whether we do or not. It's gonna produce for that. Nobody has to do anything to make it produce what it's supposed to produce throughout all seasons. It's gonna automatically do it. Everything know when to go to sleep or to be at rest and wake up. Or we can say everything, but the wake up part is like as far as us humans waking up to our spiritual self or calling and letting the spirit use the body to do what it is that the body can do at its highest capacity based upon how well you feel in spirit for what it is that you're doing. And I'm about to say this. I constantly tell you, if you don't love what it is that you're doing and it's something good, you are making it bad. I don't want it. And I know when to not have it from you because of the vibration that you put into what it is that you're doing. That's what it's called, showing your work. Your work will speak for itself, right? Regardless of whether if it's something that we feel that is well worked or not at all. But when you put it forward with the motion that you put into it, if you know it wasn't well worked, then that's exactly what it is that you're going to receive back, a response of not being well worked. Now, that's the time when you rest up in hibernation. Maybe it's polishing up the skills of what it is that you are capable of doing, Mama Bear, Papa Bear. You in that hibernation point, and you have everything that you need to make it throughout the season of hibernation. When you come out of this, you will be even more powerful as that bear with that strength and that confidence that you already carry. Let's see what else it says according to the spirit animals. Um, what is this? Spiritanimals.org. Okay. And they got a big brown bell. They reside right here in the Americas. Okay, the most important meaning and symbolism of the spirit animal bear is strength and confidence. The spirit animal helps you find strength and courage when you no longer feel empowered to go on. Okay, and that's what we're talking about. having that strength and that power to go on, but you have to rest up for the rebuild up. The symbolism of the bear encourage you to trust your instincts and be true to yourself, especially when you are not feeling well. Okay, so keeping that vibration in that same order, but knowing your instincts of if you are trying to push yourself too hard, because it's basically what the messages have been forward from from then to now is our own self intuition, our own self wisdom, our own self connection with the divine, and our own self connecting with our inner self to put our greatest forward. Remember with the 227 with the creative expression and being creative, and that is also well amplified during these times because of the bearing of gifts. See how the word bear comes back, but bear is not the same as bare. The bearer, bearing. Okay, now there are many things that could be bare. Some of the trees are bare right now because of their time to go to rest. It's not a bad thing. I don't know why people spooked out about that. We're going with the seven. And we know that that is of rest also if you use it in a biblical manner, because after the 6 days of creation, on the seventh day, the Most High God rested. Right? Angel number seven is a powerful number that represents spiritual enlightenment, inner wisdom, and the quest for knowledge. It also signifies perfection, completion, good luck, and the importance of isolation. See what I'm saying with hibernation? I'm telling y'all, if I if I wasn't aware of myself and I was off somewhere else watching me, I would be baffled about how these things are syncing up with what it is that I'm saying before I'm reading them. I'm amazed at my own self, because this is not things that I'm studying to remember in my mind to say, oh, when I speak to the audience, this is what I'm going to speak to us. No, this is what is being given and delivered to me right at these moments. Right? The angel number seven is a powerful number that represents spiritual enlightenment, inner wisdom, and the quest for knowledge. It also signifies perfection, completion, good luck, and importance of isolation. And that's the part that I am so baffled with, because I know number seven is the number of rest, and isolation is also talking about with the hibernation, but the other things with good luck is all in symbolism. But if you have not seen the sevens as a symbol of good luck, when you're thinking about how the casino's showing them to you, or even just the sound of hearing somebody say something about the number seven in a verbal way to personify good luck. These are all synchronized readings. Let's go. Let's go. The two and the seven is the nine. Let's see what it is with the nine bring. All right, angel number nine is the sign of spiritual awakening and enlightenment. We keep going on with these same things, and it also symbolizes the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one. So now we're going into those looks of what it is that we're talking about versus what has been presented to the masses with the holidays, the holidays, and symbolization, and also in spirit, right? Because the connotations could have been renewed, and we know that the main thing is about the lies being exposed, but not the joyousness of an occasion being taken away from it. It's like, I'm gonna use this for instance. Some might not want to hear. It's like two people getting married. They're already standing at the altar, and someone bust through the door and say, when they say Does anyone have discord with why these two people shouldn't be joined together? And they bust through and say, yes, I do. Because I know this woman don't love him. She's in love with me. I'm in love with her. Or vice versa. Okay. Or anything. You can take it to anything that probably would be a shock to the other, but it's in universal truth. The ending for a beginning for something new. But trusting our intuition, right? And being able to use the gifts that we're inheriting for good, and also the ones that we are creating for good, because we want um those happiness to be, we want them to be remembered with a joyfulness, and take away the hardships of the actual process. All right. The angel numbers with dealing with the number nine want you to trust your intuition and follow your soul's purpose. The number nine also represents universal love, selflessness, compassion. The angels encourage you to share your gifts and talents with the world. See what I'm saying? This I didn't even read down that far because I know I like to read, but I can't read that fast. And then just the sight of re- trying to read while I'm speaking as double minus. I can't do it. I have to focus, right? I'm kind of meticulous when it comes to certain things, and that's what kind of get me out of my, my composure is when, I'm not gonna say when I don't have control, but when things are out of order, it's just like, oh, I can't deal in chaos. And so I'm learning how to gain my strength and power to disperse the energy of chaos and see an immediate need for my services to bring order. Right. All right. So we know that we were dealing with the bear spirit and we're going in hibernation because in order to be in hibernation, isolation, to gather our creativity and rebuild where it is where we may be feeling unwell, is to take a rest from some of the things that has been helping us to get into that illness or whatever. Now, going forward with that is bringing us all the way to the nine, what is the conclusion of what needs to be done with all of the two and the seven for today with the double two and the seven. We're gonna just go with the one is the other balance itself out with the two and the seven equaling the nine, and the completion is what it is in the spiritual awakening and in alignment. The ends of cycles for new ones to begin, getting the rest that we need and opening up our doors to our creativity, expression, right? And with the analogy of the altar, it was told to me the altar. Some of you are getting your altars together for what have you to celebrate Kwanzaa, Christmas, um, or whatever other ones is out there that's very popular. Meet me at the altar in your white dress. We ain't getting no young girl. We might as well do this. This is what just came up. Let me see who seen it. Meet me at the altar in your white dress. This is the time where a lot of proposals are gonna be happening. So if you guys have been dating for a while, um, congratulations to you for that upcoming. If you have gotten engaged, congratulations to you as well. Who was the group that sings said? Okay, jagged edge, jagged edge. Gotta give shout out to them. I wonder what happened to Jagged Edge. I'm gonna have to do some investigation on Jagged Edge. They used to be rolling. Yes. Okay, so the the lyrics of the song is as follows: fair use. See, first of all, I know these so-called players wouldn't tell you this, but I'm going to be real and say what's on my heart. Let me take this chance and make this love feel relevant. Didn't you know I love you from the start? Yeah. When I think about all the years we put into this relationship, who knew we'll make it this far? Now, somebody has been doing what they've been doing in a relationship for a very long time. And they didn't think that they were going to make it as far as they have. This part of these lyrics is specifically for you. Okay? Now, there's a long time in the making. We don't know how long, but y'all know what is long to you all because I have heard of stories of people meeting and supposedly falling in love at first sight, and they had been married since that day going forward, right? Or in that sight of the Most High from that day going forward, they were in that commitment of whatever it is they have together. Okay, let's go on. So that was for you. So this is another part, but frankly, girl, I'm tired of this emptiness. I want to come home to you and only you, cause making love to just anyone ain't happening. I just gotta be with you. So specifically, this is for somebody who is in their relationship and they not for sharing. So what I'm getting is that you all are about to be really going forward with doing what it is, what we call this thing is having a marriage, a wedding, or whatever you want to do. He's saying meet him at the altar in your white dress. That is the request. And basically of your style pertaining to his taste, right? Because you are still appealing to your man. You got to remember that men love eye candy. That is the distraction. It's something for them to see that is of arousal from their woman to them. Y'all have made this commitment. So now your attention should be attracting only his attention, right? Now, specifically, I'm gonna take this note for myself because that's probably one of my biggest problem. I feel like I can wear what I want to wear, and I got a story about that. Y'all probably would be surprised when I tell that story about an article, a dream about an article of clothing that I wore that just set off so much behind it just in the dream, right? And just imagine if that was in real life, what has possibly would have happened. And I'll talk about that later. So this is a request, but you got to know that you all are appealing to one another, not just him appealing to you appealing to him or him appealing to you. You all have to keep each other's attention, right? All right. So it's okay for y'all to come buying y'all opinion of each other's wardrobe because you are representing each other, regardless of whether you think it or not. Okay, so I'm being told just go ahead in the deck. Somebody want to know with this mama bear and this papa bear spirit that's going on. People going to be getting cozied up with each other. You're going to be trying to stay warm. You're going to be having those fireplaces burning. I just heard make sure y'all burn y'all wood right. No accidents. Keep those children, especially 2020 babies, at bay when it comes to if you have fireplaces because we know that they are a different kind. They want to do everything that adults do, but better. All right. And as well as making sure that if you're going out, and you just had babies, to make sure that your body is fully covered, especially if you have had cesarean sections. Make sure that you wear the right girdle in and have on the right support so that your cut can heal as well as it is. And for those of you who have premature babies, make sure that they're bundled up right, keep their head covered, right? And then you want to make sure that in these times, because there's so many respiratory diseases going around that is named and unnamed, that you want to keep a very limited group of people around or breathing on your child, especially with babies being able to catch the whooping cough from adults unsuspectedly or who have not known that they have been contaminated with it. So they say, meet me at the altar. But what is it that needs to be cleared out before they go to that altar, Most High? I just say, I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus underneath the mistletoe. That's gonna be something somebody gonna be going through. They might be playing that song. What needs to be cleared out, Most High, before they go to that altar? Is it anything? Just get them some sense of clarity for those who are tuning in right now, who are watching from beyond or will watch later on in present day. We got ice cream card. This is the date night card that we put in there. Okay. So you see the stack right there, and this yellow one just came up like that. And say, remember when? Over there's something behind it. Never forget who you are so that you won't act like someone else. So maybe it is someone these in this group, in the collective, their Mama Bear and Papa Bear spirit is going to the altar. Remember when is the question. Remember what it is that you fell in love. That is the song that Michael Jackson has. Remember when? Remember the time when we fell in love. Do you remember the time when we first met? Never forget who you are so that you won't act like someone else. And maybe they're remembering you for who you are. Um, and it's just a message as well as being exactly what it is that's stating, because maybe you lost yourself in the midst of everything that you have been going through with this relationship. But a date night is also here, so maybe that will actually help getting back to yourself. What is this that we're seeing? Teach me how to love you. So somebody needs to know that maybe they forgot, and that's why they remember when they fell in love, but they forgot how to love you. There's some rekindling going on because we see the date night apparently here. And then what's that? We got the nine coming back up with what it was before. But then in this, we got the nine with a two and a seven, and that's how we got the message. Oh my goodness. This is really just exciting me that everything is syncing up. All right, because we had the 227 that we um totaled out one of the twos with the other two, so it's just a two and a seven would give us a nine, and a nine is about those new beginnings, and that's still up on a computer. Angel number nine is a spiritual awakening and enlightenment. You two are being spiritually awakened and enlightened to each other in that isolation, because we see that's what a marriage is, but that's what came up after the spirit meaning spirit message for the day with the collective, because we all can be in that bare spirit, especially when it's time for the cool down and go into isolation, go into hermit mode, go into hibernation, right? letting things in so new things can begin. Maybe it's some things in the past that y'all holding on, and it's possibly the hurting of people's feelings who have been in the past. They're waiting in line or something like that. What is this that's in here? We got disappointments. Their disappointments is gonna be upside down, which is meaning that they won't be disappointed because they can't be anything but happy. Why would you be disappointed for somebody else's success with finding love and somebody that they can actually have a successful relationship with? That's what we should all be in the spirit of, because when you wish others well and having something that you desire, then yours is definitely on the way, because that's the seed that you are planting. But see, this is the disappointments that the couple probably thought that other people would be feeling, because remember I said that before this came up, right? So those disappointments is not going to be there. You all just got to step forward and do it. What else we need to know? It's something that is upside down. It says, job well done. Don't doubt yourself. You made the right choice at the right time in your life. So maybe this is the energy of somebody else. Those people who were possibly, now we say in the back part of the ones who would be disappointed at what it is, right? You see how that goes? That's what it was that they were disappointed about. That you have made the right choice for yourself. But we know at first they were, but it came in upside down. So that they not anymore, but this is what it was about. That's why this was upside down, because it was on them. And then they said the boring sex life, it came upside down. So obviously you're not going to be having that with this. This is a love read in the making that's going on. We got the spiritual clarity about what it was, because the whole time I was talking about Mama Bear and Papa Bear and the children, as far as the baby cubs, I'm not thinking that it was in the energy of a relationship, right? It's just a personal relationship. And that's probably, could resonate for us singles that's out there, and those who know that they're in a relationship that's been committed and they are expecting it to have an end, which would be for a dating scene with that number nine, would be the new beginning, would be a marriage. Who want to do that? They said they didn't want to keep nobody, they didn't want nobody else. In the words that we heard from the lyrics of the song, right? That's Wait, hold up, come on back up here so Jagged Edge can tell me what it is that I need to know. Oh no, what happened? This dang thing. Okay, so he says, see, first of all, I know these so called players wouldn't tell you this, but I'm going to be real and say what's on my heart. Let's take this chance and make this love feel relevant. Didn't you know I love you from the start? Yeah. When I think about all the years we put in this relationship, who knew we'd make it this far? When I think about where would I be if you were just to fall apart, and I can't stand the thought of losing you. And there's a part that he said making love to just anyone ain't happening. He don't want to make love with just anyone. Maybe he, I don't know, the maybes. Let's get away from the maybes and go to what it is that's going on. Give us something to get from this. Okay, so facing us collective, we have don't take any wooden nickels, right? And then we have a contempt of court. Maybe something. Oh, wait, hold up. Come on, Most High. Give me what it is that's going on with this. Not taking any wooden nickels that has anything to do with this love situation for this mama bear and this papa bear. That's 2 steps from the altar, a contempt of court. Somebody had to go to court and they didn't know they had to go to court. That's what caused them a delay because they're in contempt of court, but they didn't know. But that's how they wind up being in that situation because of the wooden nickels. This is a message not to take no wooden nickels. That's the ancestor message because this is something my dad used to say all the time. Somebody was trying to sell y'all something. And what I'm getting is that even though with this contempt of court, the the advice was very much heard to not take these things. Is things that won't be able to be used. That's what wooden nickels is. Maybe it's knowledge, money, whatever it is a wooden nickel is a fake glass of water. Let me see. We're gonna put this on the side. If something else come up that is relevant to what it is with this love situation of why this don't take the wooden nickels would be there in the contempt of court. And now we have this out of the sack. I'm gonna teach you the difference between lust and love. And guess what? That is very much what's needed because look at that. We have right here, teach me how to love you. And then this is their response. Both of them on the blue card, so they matched up together. They feeling cooler than cool breeze with one another, right? I'm gonna teach you the difference between lust and love. Somebody saying on that, teach me how to love you. But this is the response of what they saying. What they going how they gonna do it. Between the difference between it. Come on, Mosai. And see, some things have to be moved around. We are always going to be organizing what we got to organize. Now I'm hearing it's time to make room up in that closet. If you don't have enough room up in that closet, it's time to downsize on what you or the other ones have, and y'all decide together of what it is that will go into the closet that complements the both of you. If it's more than one dresser, you can actually have the ability to share or not, one side for one side, or maybe your own dresser drawer or getting a shiffer robe. Those people might call them cedar robes or wardrobe or whatever. But think about sharing whatever it is, and then there's certain pronouns that you need to drop using so much of like I and me and think about we and us and how that is going to resonate with what you all have going forward because we need to be able to share a space. And it's like that song that Bob Marley have. I want to love you and treat you right. I want to love you every day and every night. We'll be together with a roof right over our head. We'll share a shelter of a single bed. Yeah, something like that. All right, so now let's get into what else they need to know most time because that is so. I think I'm just happy about weddings altogether because I like decorating. And if somebody was to get me to do a wedding and they had the money for the pay for it, trust me, I would make sure that they had an experience that they need to. I gotta make sure I hire the right people to be able to help carry out the big plans that I have as well. Let's go in now. What we got? Corporation. That was part of what it was with the 227. Cooperation. Corporation is cooperating for what it is that y'all trying to achieve. You got to work together. That's the only way. You won't be able to do it if y'all fighting against each other. Somebody wants you to think you can't let your right hand know what your left hand doing. But if they working together in the same body, then they got to know how to do the same damn thing. Right? Balance. That's what we saw with the 227, right? And then using the intuition and the wisdom for that. What else? What else? What else? It came up right. They gonna get caught up on their own. Lay low. This is what it is that's going on. Whoever it is, maybe it is somebody that was trying to block her with these disappointments, but they in upside down mode, so they can't do nothing but just be disappointed because they're not stopping nothing. And then we know that there's not gonna be this that came up, so it's a lot to look forward to, as well as whatever it is that they were mad about you doing a job well done. That's what they disappointed about, but they can't be anymore because it's what you want to do. Because they gonna get caught up on their own. It's time to lay low with the hibernation mode of the bear. What it is, let's see. You gotta know your limits. Don't overdo it. Take a break. See what I'm saying? It keep coming up with the same thing. And that's even for the ones that's hating. You gotta know your limits. Take a break. Maybe you should have took a break, but it wasn't for you to take a break, so that's how you got caught up. But then see the whole thing about this contempt of court is like you now, since y'all didn't lay low and take a break from what it was that you were doing, it got you in contempt of court, and that's what it's telling me is a spiritual contempt of court. But then when it come down from the spiritual realms and it actually have to hit on on the ground, that's what it's gonna be, because that's what the law is really supposed to be, to back up spiritual law, the enforcement. Remember, that's what they tell you in business 101, the law. Don't take no wooden nickels. Do you have any? And see, we gotta remember we everything we signing our name on for. Oh, what was it? A booty bandit. Now, mm, mm, mm. That's what they in contempt for, being a booty bandit. And then I'm hearing specifically for somebody. This is not just about no. This is not about a child or children. This is about adults being that. All right. Now, where was that with the Ten of Swords that came up? And it's in the upright. Is a complete and painful ending. The Ten of Swords tarot card symbolizes a complete and painful ending, representing a feeling of reaching rock bottom. It can represent a difficult situation that has reached its peak, whether it's be a broken relationship, financial hardship, or physical and emotional exhaustion. Okay, see, the ending of it is telling me this right here. Let's get it. Because everything that's upside down, it do have a story to tell on the upside down, right? It's strange. How strange has these things been with the contempt of court, and then with the reverse job being well done. These things that brings this here for that person who feeling that energy, because this is what they was, right? And for so long this weighed on you because of the energy that they carried holding that in their head. And then what I'm hearing how sick they are is that that person think they did something, right? Because what I'm getting is that they was able to do this because you were incoherent to what was being done. You see, I'm I'm knowing that it's all kind of stuff that people do to people while they sleep. We wouldn't have the fingernail polish to do this with if that wasn't the case, right? And then we do know that so many people get accused of this and ain't even none of that. But then in this case, this is the everything that is the hold or stronghold for you going forward with your relationship. Maybe the person who you are considering or is in the prospect for this to get at the altar is somebody who is intuitive, because that's what we're dealing with, intuition all throughout this piece and stuff. You probably thinking that they gonna know because somebody gonna tell them, or they gonna know just because of intuition. However it is, that's what we get into, that hurtful place, going into hibernation and being able to heal that. Because I'm gonna tell you this: if somebody love you, I don't care how many of y'all in here are not right now, this message will get heard. If somebody really truly love you, your mind, and everything about you, and they can't see themselves being without you, and y'all have that in common, y'all yoke with each other, it don't matter what you've been through, what you got or don't have, that's going to stop them from loving you or wanting to be there with you or wanting to make something with you, right? I see it all the time. People don't have arms, they don't have legs, they still got a marriage, they can't walk, they still got a relationship. They big, they small, they still got a relationship. Some of them may have diabetes, they don't have a partner, they still in that relationship because they want that person. That person gets them specifically. They hit more than they miss with each other and connecting themselves and mind, thoughts, and power with each other, right? So now it don't even matter about what's in the inside of you that you don't even feel like you have the ability to convey. Because see, the mission of those who would be the enmity that comes between man and woman would be those things that are the disappointments. But we see they upside down because they can't work no more. And even one of these here, he using that as a thing, cause he know nobody else don't know that this happened, but he know that he did it. But he trying to use that over your head, whoever you are in this Papa Bear situation, or it could be a female in that that Mama Bear situation, right? And that's the rules, because remember in the middle of the message, it was being like that bear that is our totem spirit that will go into hibernation and come out even stronger than before. That is the hold up. All of these things of disappointment, complete and painful ending. But that's for this person right here who was doing this, because the thing that they was holding over your head that was stopping you from getting in a relationship was the same thing that they were happy about. That's why it's painful for them to know that you're having that date night with your person, because y'all remembering when y'all went through whatever y'all went through, and they're gonna teach you the difference between lust and love because of the hurt that you had to endure. You remember you got taught not to take no wooden nickels, so that's what you decided not to do. And that's what got you through, because you knew what was your limits. Don't overdo it. Take a break like that bear and go into hibernation. You harvested enough of good strength, love, honor, charity, selflessness. You keep giving and giving. You've cried. Those tears didn't go unanswered. Somebody feel your tears when you cry. That water that you have drinking came from somewhere. And when you let loose in your sweat and everything that you put into back into where it come from, back to the way it's gonna go. Where you think your tears go, right? They gonna get caught up on their own. You don't have to worry about that because they gonna do it. People who are habitual abusers of power or anything that's looking for people that are vulnerable, they can't help but taking the bait. Why you think we have a thing called the bait? The bait. Not debating what it is that I'm talking about or what I know. These are things that we can go and look up. How you think the ones that are in those alphabet groups on the wrong side of things get caught up with young girls that they think are young, but they look young? And you can see the people pop up out on. But you don't have to worry about that because you are in a consensual thing that's going on. Remember, we saw the date card there, that ice cream together. It's saying get out and have fun. Why? Because who don't like it, whether it's vegan or not, they gonna eat ice cream. No boring sex life. And hello to everyone that is coming in. If I just noticed you, it's because I'm so into what it is that this message is giving me right now. And we seeing that this is that ending is coming as complete and painful is because there's a new beginning coming. That's why the nine had to come. Coming hard with the Nina. And I mean her. Nobody ain't gonna stop nobody else's love from getting together. Y'all wrong. Put y'all in real love court. I don't care if it's mine or nobody else's. Put you and put you where you need to be and sit you down in that corner. Let them people have what they want them. As long as they ain't being harmful to nobody else or they self, right? All right, so let's keep going forward. Sorry for you, Booty Bandy. You ain't gonna stop them from getting together. You done held that over their head too long. What is that to say? Get them, got them good. That's my water right there. Somebody saying, hey, water, what's up, water? That's my water right there. Get them, got them good. Got them. Sit there, down somewhere. Oh, oh, oh. What else we need to know? Unhealed wounds. That's what it was trying to hold over you. What's in your past is in your past. Let it stay there. Put it to in a compost box and let it emulsify into something that would actually help things to grow. It's time to be healed. You see why you rather can see it because it really don't mean that much. If you got skin like this, you can heal up real quick. Look at that. You want to know what happened to me? I got caught on a rod on fence in my adulthood. Why? Jumping the fence. Right? But the healing part is that I had to let it heal. Now, how fast it heal, I ain't gonna tell nobody. You probably be trying to steal my blood if I say that. Yeah, it was cut open. I ain't getting no stitches. Look what this say. It say, so glad that you trust me. Yay, trust in between two people that's in a relationship is a very, very good thing. But we got something that's upside down. Request for proposal is upside down. And this is related to a business thing, but then it could be the request for the proposal is upside down because you don't know how to propose or when to propose. That's why it's upside down. So glad that you trust me. So you got to know that that person trusts you to be able to get this in the upright, however you do it. But it's meaning that y'all both have to be available at the same time in the same place for you to even do that. So you got to figure that out on your own. What is going on? Who was the one that was all into that? It was that tall, slinky black, you know, it's a, that might have had something to do with that too. They knew about it. Oh, so that's what the thing was. Somebody, they wind up telling somebody, now somebody else know. And if one other person know, then that mean a whole lot. What is this guy going on? He say, warrior blood lives in you. Act like you know. Who's scared? Nah, that's my past. That's what I'm saying. That's what he's saying. That's my past. What? Because we seen what happened come up before that when it said let don't be remember who you are so nobody have to tell you or something like that. And then you coming out screaming that warrior blood lives in you, lives in you, right? Never forget who you are so that you won't act like someone else is what they were saying, the elders. And then you come back out, warrior blood lives in my warrior blood lives in you. Act like you know it. Who's scared, right? And so you coming out with that, saying that, and then this is what somebody need to know. Is we know a divine masculine up in here dealing with some stuff and they got a date night going on, but divine feminine, you are in that realm of your energy of being, pampered and protected. So you not really too much in here. We see that most of what it is that's going on is dealing with the masculine energy and what has been happening or had happened. Cold feet and a warm ussy is my type all day and night alive. He said, "Oh, that's what he want. Put them cold feet on them and wrap that warm, you know what, too, around all of that. That might be your honeymoon. What is upside down? Right here. If you ask me, of course, I'm saying yes. Why wouldn't I? I love you for real. This is what is going on. They're waiting for that request of proposal. Y'all just gotta have the time. Somebody gotta how they gonna involve all of that planning. Now, if y'all are in the same city and state, it's easy for the family and everybody to get in on it. It may you maybe if the female in here is, or the, well, I'm gonna say the female because the divine feminine, if she is somebody that's suspicious of a lot of stuff going on around her, people acting funny, she intuitive, she gonna know something going on. So y'all gotta be very meticulous with the planning if you trying to do a surprise proposal, because a lot of times y'all wind up getting found out and they tell you, well, why I was the last one to know. If you ask me, of course, I'm saying yes. Why wouldn't I? I love you for real, for real. Like, this is not for fate. But then we know that's what's going on. So divine feminine pop up saying what she got to pop up and say she will come in when she wants to in this particular scenario, because we see it's not a lot that was going on. Somebody was trying to monger that fear in you. Then we know that that's what they was doing. Now they sending their energy up in here, but we're gonna keep them out because we know that this new beginning is coming. There's no way that they're gonna stop it. See right here, I'm gonna just hold it right here so y'all can see how I'm pulling from the files in the deck and what it is that's coming up. They got caught up. See, didn't I tell you the cards say they were gonna get caught up on their own? They got caught up on their own. You ain't gotta do nothing. Look when it came in that they got caught up. Just so. Because it's possibly that they're behind the scenes and they're looking and they just watching, because we have the ability to do so when we're all connected in that way. But remember when you tried to warn them and tell them about them getting themselves caught up because they just can't help themselves. They didn't know their limits. You got to know your limits. Do not overdo it. Take a break. They didn't take a break from what it was that their bad behavior was, but we know that you taking a break so that you can come out like the bell after hibernation. Oh, yay. Let's go ahead. Ain't taking no wooden nickels up in here. I told y'all they was gonna get caught up on their own. I was looking for that for confirmation, right? But we know that happened. So what was upside down? Something came up upside down. It's a whole lot. Okay, let's see what it is. Breakfast in bed, family kind of love. I want you to cook me a country style breakfast in bed. Take my card and get whatever we need. Somebody wanted a breakfast in bed, but it didn't happen. It's why it's upside down. And I'm getting that. And if it has anything to do with my two lovebirds over here, it is because the breakfast in bed is upside down. Y'all didn't, you didn't do it. You just didn't do it. But that doesn't mean that you don't have that kind of love, because if they want you to cook for them, they know that you're capable of cooking and they can provide it. What happened? The time and the space, maybe. Y'all wasn't in the right place. That was on your mind. Or maybe this is for a whole nother person in this energy. I'm going to just keep that on the side and see what happens with that. What else we got up in here, most side? What's upside down? Those money problems will change. See, that's what I'm saying. There's a whole different energy that it came through. They wanted a breakfast in bed, but they didn't have the money because on here it say breakfast in bed. That country style breakfast, take my card and get whatever you want. But then we know that this followed that coming upside down as well. Those money problems will change. It came upside down because it's not going to change. That person couldn't even get breakfast in bed, right? And that's not right, because if you have the ability to go outside and you know how to forage for things, then you can go and find something to make breakfast with. There's a wonderful lady who has a channel on YouTube, a black lady. She is a foraging fairy or something like that. Now, let's get back to what it is that's going on. These people right here say they want something. They want some more those money problems. And that person who wanted that breakfast in bed. All right, let me switch from that energy of this couple that's getting married. Let's see, a breakfast in bed. How much is the breakfast in bed? Because Big Sis gotcha. How much? Okay, so we're gonna go with this. We going with this, right? Because everybody want to keep up with the Joneses. You want the mimosas, you want the croissants, you want the honey butter, that breakfast in bed. That countryside breakfast may include some grits that you're gonna have. Possibly if you're in the south, some shrimp and grits, and then you have to have the potatoes O'Brien, and then you're gonna have some beignets on the side. You're also gonna have some donuts, and possibly or from Tasties, depending on where you are getting them from. And if that breakfast in bed that you are having is being held at an expensive or to moderate to least expensive hotel, anywhere ranging from $80 to $275 a room, okay, that breakfast in bed may be included with the hotel package if they have a standard what is it called, compilation. I'm just saying this because it's for somebody who may need to be able to plan this breakfast in bed event that their money is not right for, that came up right here. This is what you can do to offer yourself some relief to make up for what it is that you were promising, right? With this breakfast in bed. You can also consider having it catered by one of your local groceries. Just go ahead and pay the little $25 for a platter if they don't have the continental breakfast at the hotel that you are all going to be staying in, for to have that breakfast in bed if it's not at your own house. I'm just making this a date night for y'all, right? An overnight thing. All right. So, and then as well as that, you may also want to be able to If they don't drink alcoholic beverages, you can consider making a mimosa that is not alcoholic by getting the sparkling cider in some orange juice and just pouring some of that half and half to make it like a mimosa, which would be the light champagne in the orange juice. Okay, this is what is saying on journeys.com. The breakfast is part of our package price at the B&B, which ranges from 80 to 275 for a double room, which was what I was just telling you could possibly do, depending on how those problems gonna change. But obviously, you need to change something in order for those problems to change. I'm not trying to laugh at you. I'm just saying there's also all kind of ways that you can make up for that. And there's breakfast in bed. If it's a couple and y'all already stay together, it's just the ability. Now the money problems probably ain't changing no time soon. That's why she able to say that or he able to say that because they know what it is that your account accounts for. Now the refrigerator is free for all. You gotta be creative and use what it is that is in your refrigerator to make up for what it is that you wanted with this country style breakfast. Look at the ingredients that's enlisted in the country style breakfast and know what kind of country y'all come from. If it is a city country, then use the country, and you live in a city that they have country recipes that you use, then use that. Don't limit yourself to what you're capable of doing. Remember, the beginning of this, we're going with the 227 for the angel number of creative expression. And that is all of what it is that you have to do to get back upright. Because everything that was already written upright. What make it upside down is your own behaviors, right? So let's keep moving forward. Say yes, something right here. What is this? Billionaires Clubs is upside down. What is a billionaires club? There's some oddies. There's some other energy that is coming in. Okay, billionaires boy club. What is it? They got a billionaire boy club sweatshirt, and they got a billionaire boy club. They got a billionaire boys club, and it has a website. Billionaires Boy Club at Bloomingdale's, but billionaires clubs. They have brands. They have sales. Boys Club. Um, on the Wikipedia, the Billionaire Boy Club, the BBC, was an investing and social club organized by Joseph Henry Hunt, born Joseph Henry Gamsky, in Southern California between 1983 and 1989. It was originally simply named BBC, its initials from Bombay Bicycle Club, a restaurant Hunt had a frequent as a young man in Chicago. The get rich quick investment the group offered to clients added up what was essentially one big Ponzi scheme. And see, that's why they're upside down because somebody's emulating these things, and these things are not what it is that generally uh, kind people would be interested in doing, right? We see how the energy change. And there's possibly something with somebody money getting messed up because we see that the money problems will change, but it didn't because of them trying to be like a billionaires boys club. And that's all of a scheme. And that's making sense in my life because Myra keep talking about somebody who stole money from me. I had some kind of feeling like that, but it wasn't a stick to where it couldn't move, but then it might have did some other things. And it's just sad that people will use the internet to make someone's life miserable than and increasing it, but they want to be called the truth. No, you are not the truth. You're just a hindrance if you're doing that. Cyber scheming, it was upside down. It's a cancer. I don't know who them cancers are. They're supposed to be loyal, protective, intuitive, and caring. On the other hand, um, They can be sensitive, moody, or vindictive. And that's what part we seeing with the Billionaires Clubs or whoever it was that was acting like the boys of the Billionaires Club. And they came in reverse like that, as well as this cancer on the back of that point blank period that was in reverse. So maybe it's a cancer who was leading that pack. Let me see what months cancers are in. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. All right, so we got June and July. June 21st to July 23rd is when that cancer is in that perspective. So it's a water element. And then we got the cancer going with the moon. So it's somebody who's fully aware of what it is that they are in their symbology, and they're using the moon to do all kind of stuff. And it don't make it makes sense, but it doesn't make any sense that they would want to do some things like that. And I know a lot of people say that they use the moon for different rituals, but they upside down. But that's possible why they not. They might gonna be getting bed and breakfast country style, but that may be a whole nother thing because somebody did get caught up and see how that came up, and it's coming up with the different energy. So that's showing something else on somebody else, and that's because the warrior blood lives in you. Act like you know you gotta keep fighting. Act like you know, no, no. Act like you know. All right, let's get on, baby. Y'all need to stop with the manipulations. It's okay to manifest, but that's have everything to do with your man. Your man about to be down, Cancer, for all of what you've been putting out in the ethers. Trying to use the moon. That's what is probably recognizable. The thing with the man in the moon. He in the moon. Hmm. Doing what he doing. So it is in his element. All right, what is this on the upside down? We had a dog off a leash will go around the corner and back home again. But if he don't come, if he don't have his collar on, then he been in somebody's house. Somebody dog is on the right side of things. Maybe you did find your dog that was lost, and it was because he did have his collar on him. They didn't take him off because they didn't keep him for a long time, so they didn't have to bathe him. But if this is pertaining to a man that's like a dog, he is acting how he's supposed to. He went back home with everything he's supposed to have on him. Maybe he's loyal now. All right, let's go ahead. Oh, I see somebody getting in there. I see something different. He did something different. What else is facing us? We are grateful collective. See that's facing us. Read it to our hearts. It say grateful for everything. Thank you, Most High. Yes, we got to give thanks. There's nobody don't know exactly how everything get made. They telling the tale. What is this? Blue calcite. Somebody got a blue calcite that's upside down. So that would possibly mean that it's time for you to charge it. Go ahead on and take that blue calcite off and cleanse it how you need to cleanse it. But while we do that, we're gonna look into the helpfulness of blue calcite. All right. Blue calcite, a very strong combination for anyone working on protective and transformative effects. The blue calcite healing properties. Okay, blue calcite is a stone that has healing properties such as calming the mind and the body, reducing stress, anxiety, and nervousness. soothing the throat, lungs, and respiratory system, helping with respiratory ailments, relieving pain and inflammation, especially in the bones and joints, enhancing spirituality, intuition, and psychic abilities. And that's everything of what it is that we were talking about. And that is going to give me the note for the end out on this here. Know that proposal or that marriage that you all are expecting to come through is going to come through. Your partner has alleviated all of those painful things that has been held over their head. They're now confident that you will trust them and you can move forward with that, and going into that bear spirit with that totem of knowing that those things was of your past, and even if it was to come up, that he or she will still be there for you like they need to, because it is you that they want, and you all have a great future together because of what it is that you will be creating together, that is going to help benefit yourselves and everyone else, because these are natural abilities and you're working on your creative expression through the 227, which also brings us back to that home life. And it is going to be something that's able to be reached from many different demographics. Also, that you know the person who had been trying to hold certain secrets over your head to stop you from going forward. They're in that painful ending because you have been able to move forward. And then we know that some of them are possibly inside of a billionaire boy club going wrong with this cancer and using the moon for to try to make things manifest. Oh man, on the moon, did you land or did you get caught up? Now they did get caught up, and that's what we saying. And why? Because you see, that's what we're saying, right? And why? Because you were grateful for everything and thanking the Most High throughout all of the process. And that dog has been found, and he came back with everything that he wanted to have, that he's supposed to have on him when he got let loose. And then we know that the blue calcite was something that needed to be cleansed, and all of the things that it is for. Go ahead on and continue to look into it, and enhancing those spiritual abilities and that intuition and capabilities is all in what it was that a lot of the messages have been given. And this is the 29th day of November. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for your likes, your subscribes, your shares. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a wonderful day and be okay with being in hibernation. You got everything you need, so you already got it stored in your storehouse, and you can pay yourself and get the rest that you need. You know you're not or have not been feeling well. Come out of it renewed and just bust back open like that bear. Like that big grizzly bear would do. Have a good one.